Hi all, Fuzzy Barbarian once again. So yesterday I posted another close combat damage build, and in it I stated I thought the combination of sets used gave you the most close combat damage you can get as a raw stat from armor set bonuses. Well, thanks to a bunch of clued-in commenters, I've since learned it was the second best. The best is the one I have to show you here today. The difference is a swap out of the Yagyu Shinkage style armor set for the Yatagarasu armor set. The difference in swapping those two is an extra 3.7% gain in close combat damage. So now I think this build has the highest close combat damage you can get as a stat from combining armor sets, which is a total of 51.7% when combined with the max of 20% on your weapon, which is a part of one of those armor sets, of course. Now, like in my other videos, I want to point out that I'm purely talking about close combat damage as a stat. I'm not saying this is the most damaging build you can have, but what this particular build does is give you a build that pumps out a ton of damage without having to be situational, like such as having to hit from behind, or without having to proc other stats and effects to get extra close combat attack, or things like using Warrior of the West to get more close combat attack when enemies are electrified, and so on. You can do all those things, sure, and get more damage by doing them. The Paralysis build I posted recently is an example of doing that to a bit of an extreme. But not having to do all that is why this build is one of my favourites. Also, in my video yesterday I pointed out that Karajishi is the best Guardian Spirit for Windstorm. Some people like Tenjin Kujaku too. It's all good what you prefer, honestly, as they all do a ton of damage in the right circumstance. But interestingly, today I found by getting that 3.7% extra close combat damage on top of what I had before, now I find Kato is my favourite Guardian Spirit to use with this build. The reason for that is pretty simple. As many of you have pointed out, close combat damage and close combat attack and skill damage are all different types of stats, but in the end, they are all stats that add damage to your attacks. Yet while most Guardian Spirits add some kind of perk that buffs damage, Kato is the only one that adds the most damage, like raw. By that I mean Kato adds it without the need to proc anything or do anything other than use a skill, and if you don't use a skill it will still add 12.5%. So while Tenjin and Karajishi can produce more damage from certain situational attacks, Kato does it all the time. And with 51.7% close combat damage as a base, combined with all the extra raw damage perks we have on our accessories and in our prestige points and from our clan, there is absolutely no noticeable difference in how slow it is to take down yokai and human bosses to my mind. Windstorm can two-shot most yokai bosses if buffed with Carnage. However, if you're not using Windstorm, there is a noticeable difference in how fast you can take down human bosses using other skills like Sign of the Cross and Shrike without having to do anything else before you use them. So with that, I think Kato brings a perfect balance to a raw close combat damage build and is a little more versatile. Of course, I'm saying that based on having the attack value on my weapon almost as high as you can get it. If you're still working towards that and your attack value isn't that high, then yes, obviously you want every ounce of extra damage you can get. And for that, Karajishi and Tenjin do probably offer you the best choice. But yeah, I'm sticking with Kato. I also finally got a Magatama to drop that has water damage on it and yokai close combat damage as well, which is great. I think I've had about 1,000 of these things, and that's the first time RNG has been kind to me. So with that, I'm doing more damage because water is my preferred element on my weapon. Anyway, this video is just a quick add-on to the one I posted yesterday. So not much else to say apart from thanks to everyone who commented, and thanks to everyone who keeps helping with improving these builds. You guys rock. Oh wait, the one thing I should tell you is you get the Yatagarasu armor set from Magoichi Sayaka, the boss in the Immortal Flame mission. But the best way to farm for it really is to fight him in the Watcher in the Darkness submission, as you can more or less just run straight to him over and over and over. He also drops the smithing text too there, so yeah, just run straight to him pretty much like this.
またあったな。お手柔らかに。楽しくなってきたね。
Or, apart from running to kill him, you can also maybe take the lazy way out and just sit around in the disappearing Ranjatai waiting for me to drop my Revenant, which I seem to be doing just about every day now. Okay, that's it. If you need to learn more, check out all the previous close combat damage vids that came before this one, as this one is pretty much just a small extension on top of those. So until next time guys, bye for now.